Say hello to the 2021 Lincoln Aviator GT. GT, you mean like a Mustang GT or a Ford GT? Well, no, of course not. But grand touring of a different sort. It's a three-row SUV. Also, it's a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with about 40 kilometers of all-electric range. Let's find out more today on Family Wheels. This is a big, handsome, broad-shouldered SUV, very American. The grille is strong but not shouty like the BMW X7 or any Lexus, and has just enough callback to the glory days of Lincoln without being an accidental self-parody. The Aviator badge is a clean, sophisticated piece of design. A line that begins with the hood carries all the way to the wraparound taillights, which provide a sharp horizontal separator across the liftgate. And the small overhang from the roof not only brings the upper and lower areas into harmony, it allows the rear window wiper to be stored out of sight, adding to the clean look. In the early days of SUVs, American automakers dominated the market, basically putting station wagon bodies on truck frames and making money hand over fist. Well, eventually the Europeans and Japanese caught on and started making SUVs of their own, and then luxury SUVs. And guess what? They surpassed the Americans by a pretty wide margin. This is particularly the German automakers, but also the Japanese. Now the Americans are catching up. And this is American luxury. You know you're not in a BMW or an Audi or a Lexus or even a Genesis here. This is a very luxurious American car, and I say that in a very positive sense. This thing is packed with luxury, and it rides like a dream. Back in the day, and I mean way back in the day, like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, American luxury meant a different thing. Big, floaty, soft cars. And they were everywhere. Well, that's gone away now, and luxury means something completely different. And in an era when more than 8 out of 10 vehicles bought are not passenger cars, it's a good thing to have a luxury offering in the SUV field. Lincoln doesn't make cars anymore, passenger cars anymore. Its whole lineup is SUVs. The Corsair, the Nautilus, the Aviator, and the Navigator at the top of the lineup. The Aviator's luxury list is long. After all, its marketing tagline is comfort in the extreme. An early hint is the soft closed doors and their button-activated release on the inside. Buyers can add still more goodies if a 5-figure price bump is not a problem. Ours has a full load that adds $12,200 to the bottom line. A non-exhaustive list of niceties on our tester, the Grand Touring, includes heated and power-folding side mirrors, LED head and taillights, keyless entry and phone as a key, panoramic roof, ambient lighting, active noise control, heated and power-adjustable steering wheel, built-in modem, USB Type-A and C jacks, and wireless charging. The second row is made up of 2 captain's chairs. That's not going to be to everyone's liking. Some owners want a bench back there so they can fit 3 kids across. Getting them forward so that someone can get into the third row is a fairly easy affair. We have a power adjustment here. Additionally, if you want to fold the seat all the way down for extra cargo space, you do this. The second row gets heated seats, its own climate controls, and audio controls that can be locked from the front. But in this world of Lincoln luxury, it is the front seats that get special attention. If you're looking to while away the hours on a long trip, you could just play with the seat adjustments. On this version of the Aviator, we have 30 of them, starting with the headrest at the top, multiple adjustments on the seat back. That's moving the entire seat back, and then there's a sub-adjustment for just the shoulder area. And we have Lincoln's version of adjustable leg support. Individual, mind you. But right now I want to talk about the ride. It's an adaptive suspension, as Lincoln calls it, and it is beautifully smooth. Well, the seats are leather, very nicely cushioned as well, beautifully designed, but also the suspension is really first rate. you do get the feeling that you're in a very luxurious vehicle here. I've driven a BMW X7, and its ride really isn't any better than this, and that thing costs a lot more than an Aviator. And that nice, smooth, and supremely quiet ride you get in the Aviator, it does not destroy the handling. We're not behind the wheel of a 66 Continental here. You can actually turn corners. We've got all-wheel drive, so it's very modern in that respect. Yes, this is a big vehicle. It's classed as mid-size. The only reason it's classed as mid-size is that there's something even larger above it. But we're at about 200 inches in length here. Nonetheless, the Aviator is pretty nimble, and has a pretty small turning circle as well. Made a U-turn there with room to spare. It's reasonable to ask, why put a plug-in hybrid electric system in a vehicle this luxurious, this big? You only get 30 kilometers of range, about 18 miles, and you're over $100,000 with taxes, at least Canadian. Why would you then electrify it part way with a PHEV? And the answer is power. This thing has more than 400 horsepower and an astonishing amount of torque, good for towing. And so, in addition to getting some reduction in your fuel bill, because even rich people hate the idea of paying high gas prices, you get a lot more power. A lot. And this options package gives us towing ability up to 5,600 pounds, so you can tack an Airstream out of the back of this and head for the hills. Just a word about electrified vehicles, either full battery electric or plug-in like ours here, and the estimates of range that they give you on the dashboard. They are just an estimate, and they can vary widely, and wildly for that matter. Much depends on your right foot and on the conditions. It's been very hot here in Vancouver lately. I've been using a lot of AC, and the air conditioning just sucks up the power. Similarly, highway driving, the faster you go, if you go above the speed limit on the highway, you're going to find that the range drops precipitously, and that's pretty well true of all electric vehicles I've driven. When I first got into the Aviator, it had a full charge on it, and the indication on the dashboard was 41 kilometers of range, and I thought, yay, that's pretty good, about 25 miles. In fact, it's 30 kilometers of range, about 18 miles or so. Well, our 3 bags of groceries, a backpack, and a stroller do fit in the back of the Lincoln Aviator, but only just. In fact, this thing has 18.3 cubic feet of space behind the third row. Now, behind the second row, we do get 41.8 cubic feet of space, and with the second and third rows down, you get 77.7 cubic feet. And when we want to have more space, Lincoln makes it easy on us. Just drop these headrests, and then we just press a button. And if you want to do both seats at once, the rear-facing child seat behind me really gobbles up the space, but here in the front passenger seat, there's still acres of room in the Aviator. Lincoln offers the Canadian market the non-hybrid Aviator Reserve, starting at $71,000, including freight and air conditioning tax, and benefiting from a current $750 delivery allowance. Our tester, the Grand Touring, starts at $83,000 on those terms, but the previously mentioned 302A options package adds $12,200, and there's $900 for the lovely off-white metallic paint called Ceramic Pearl. Lincoln adds to the luxury vibe by saying these are built to order, with a delivery time of 6 to 8 weeks, although dealers have some in stock. I suspect the shortage of microchips that's affecting the industry also might be a factor. Well, that's our look at the 2021 Lincoln Aviator Grand Touring plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Leave a comment. Thanks for subscribing and thanks for watching. I'm Richard Detman. See you next time on Family Wheels.